Katie is out today. She'll be back tomorrow. There's a teacher. She left a $5 tip. I think she was at a CBD store somewhere. Did she already have some before she left the tip? But she accidentally left a $5,000 tip.
Like on a credit card?
Yeah. And so and she said she's having trouble getting that money back. She's like, no, it's a mistake. So we're going to talk to her official attorney, Lisa Lanier, here in just 1 second.
You know, I will say you would think that the credit card company would have flagged. And
yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'll go somewhere with my card and literally be $15. And they're like, it'll get declined, and I'll get an email or an alert on my text message saying, did you try to buy this at the? And it's like, yes, it's down the street in my area. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it happened at the same place like 3 times. Finally, it doesn't do it.
Right. That used to happen to me at the parking deck over there by the Marriott when we would go to those.
Oh my gosh, awful! Because then you're holding up the line.
Yeah, and then I would try 3, and I was getting these fraud alerts, and I have to. Then the internet's not working, the Wi-Fi's not working right, and I'm trying. Yes, it's me. Yes, it's me. It's like, oh my gosh, people are like honking their horn behind you. Let's go to our official attorney, Lisa Lanier. Good morning, Lisa.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, this story amused me because at first I was like, oh, this poor little school teacher, she made a mistake. And then once I got down into the rabbit hole of learning more about it, I just was laughing, and it turned out to be, to me, a much more amusing story. First of all, Jason, you can relate to this. She was too short to get to the digits.
Now our official attorney is making
on the keypad. No, she was seriously. That was problem number one. The keypad was up on this counter, and it was like a bar height counter. So she must be really, really short. And so,
my gosh, Lisa,
the digits. So she was having to kind of feel around, and like she hit the 0 too many times. And it's a vape store. It's a vape CBD type store in California. And I don't know. I just kind of got the feeling that she's not as legit in terms of just all that she's claiming. Like she claims that she told Wells Fargo right away and that they didn't do anything and that still, But if you just Google, it's actually, there's a cool name for what she did. It's called over-tendering your tip. It makes it sound really nice, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
She over-tendered the tip. But if you just Google Wells Fargo dispute, blah, 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 a form pops up online, and you're supposed to do an online form. She never said anything about doing an online form. She just called, and she said she waited a long time and, that nothing really happened. But their process is to complete this online dispute form, and I actually think it's required. And I didn't see anything in any of the stories about it where she had actually done that. And so, if you don't follow their protocol, you're not going to get a lot of results, right?
Right.
So anyway, I just found the whole thing kind of as I got deeper into it more and more amusing. But here's what the kind of the law is on this over-tendering your tip. So the amount you owe the store, that's a contract, that's an obligation. You're legally obligated to that. But the tip is considered a gift. And so you can, if you make a mistake, you can withdraw it. And you're not legally obligated or bound by that. She just had a problem following, I think, the protocol of Wells Fargo to get it done. And, sometimes the opposite happens where somebody gets in over their head, like you said, maybe they're drinking. I actually know a guy, he was in a foreign country with a whole bunch of friends, and they were out to dinner in a really fancy restaurant, and he had too much to drink, and he lost track of the conversion on the currency.
Oh yeah.
No. It was one of those countries where like $100 is, in their money, like $60 billion or whatever, and so he just couldn't track it. And he ended up buying these $10,000 bottles of wine.
Oh my gosh.
Multiple of them. And the table drank them. I mean, he was ordering them for the table thinking that he was ordering, like $100 bottle of wine.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. So he came home to, tens of thousands of dollars in debt that he didn't, anticipate on this vacation. And he's 100% legally obligated to that. Just on him, But the tip, like if he had, in his stupor, if he had left a $10,000 tip, he could get out of that all day long. So that's the big difference.
So when you say there's a procedure with Wells Fargo, because, usually you just call them and you say, hey, here's a mistake. And, and typically a credit card company has a lot of power because it's processing. It's not they can stop the process. Typical,
Right.
It's not already posted to the account. Plus, they can just take it away instantly. But I will tell you that a lot of people, when they are drinking, tend to be tip more and then have regrets the next day. But something that's $5,000, it seems like is processing, and it's obvious that somebody's not going to leave $5,000 on a $5 tip. That would be very odd.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. It kind of made, I don't know. The other thing that's funny is the clerk is standing there and she's like, oh, I hit too many zeros. Stop that transaction. The clerk goes, can't do that.
But that's not right. I mean, that is not right.
Right. Which he probably could. But here's the thing. Even when you call to do a dispute, I think Wells Fargo's protocol is you still have to fill out the form. I think they need something in writing. So I think she dropped the ball a little bit. But, I don't know. I kind of got the feeling that, it was all a little bit loosey-goosey.
But let's just say that the CBD stores is like, no, she said $5,000 tip, and, she did fill out the Wells Fargo, but they, the store still got the $5,000 tip. Can she take recourse and sue for the $5,000 back?
Yeah, I mean, she's going to. In fact, now, since kind of an update on the story, since it first broke, Wells Fargo has said that they are going to cancel that transaction and take the money back. And they can even, with these merchant accounts, even if they've already put it over in the merchant's, account, they can take it back.
Okay.
I mean, but the key is they don't like to do that. That's where she didn't fill out that form in the first 60 days. And so I think she could have potentially really hurt herself to the point of not being able to recover it because of that delay. But here they're going to do it, and I think everybody's in agreement, including the store. That it should have been reversed.
Okay.
Even let's say you weren't. I wonder if because it made like national news,
right,
they're doing it because otherwise, like, sorry, ma'am, you're outside of our 60 days. But I guess it just depends.
Well, once you get to the 60 days, it's already gone over to the merchant's account probably, and it's just it's harder to unring that bell. Versus when it's still processing, like Jason said. To your point, if it's still processing, just cancel it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fascinating. There's always more to the story. She's great. Thank you, Lisa. If you're ever injured, contact her right away at hireaheavyweight.com.